Oh, it's about 6:40 a.m. The sun's basically just starting to come out. It's quite nice and warm today. I think about a month ago, so it's mid-May at the moment, about a month ago, we had a couple of sub-zero mornings. But right now, it's 10 degrees. Oh, nice and balmy. I'm just out on my casual, easy 2.5 hour long run. I'm about an hour in, so I still got an hour and a half left to go. I think we'll be looking at maybe 23k, which is actually quite impressive. When I did my first 2.5 hour run back in, it was just before the Canberra Half Marathon back in end of October. I think I only did it was just over half marathon. Whereas now, 2k more. But I think my heart rate's actually lower. I'll chuck up on the screen what the heart rates will be. But I'm pretty sure it's 150s. So now it's the mid 140s. So lower perceived effort, faster pace, same time. What I want to talk about today is what I perceive to be my superpower. What makes me different to everyone else. Now, physically, I am still your average fat man. Currently sitting at around 93 kilos with the aim of getting down to the mid to high 60s. Now, I have quite a bit of weight to lose over the next couple of years. I'm probably looking at about 25 kg over 5 years, or about 5 kilograms per year. Now, as part of my body reconstitution, I'm trying to maintain and build muscle while losing the fat. Now, what I think is realistic is it's a lot easier for someone that's a bit heavier to maintain that and build muscle while still losing the fat than it is for someone that's smaller. It doesn't have quite the storage to just build muscle in general. So I think that's something I've got. That's something I've got to my advantage. I can get stronger than someone that's a lot smaller than I am. As I said a bit earlier, I'm out here on my 2.5 hour long run, and I love my 2.5 hour runs. They are my absolute favorite. I'm happy doing, I think anything under about 2 hours is almost what's the point. But 2.5 is a sweet spot. As yet to 3 hours, it's it's a bit much. But I'm really happy. I'm feeling so strong at the moment. I've got Brisbane coming up in a couple of weeks. And so last week on my tempo run, it was an hour 45 at tempo. It was definitely wasn't super strenuous. Could have gone a bit harder. And it was really good to see that I think I did about 18.5k at tempo. So if I want to do a 1:45 at Brisbane, I need to go 2.5k faster. I'm not that far off, but I think 1:45 is a bit ambitious at the moment. But one thing I think is actually quite interesting is I dare you to find a pro running more than about 2 hours. I don't know, yes, they're a lot faster than I am. Maybe they're doing 4-minute Ks, and so 2 hours at 4-minute Ks is 30k. But I don't know, I just like the distance. I think you got to do the distance. As I've said before, you got to do the distance in training. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't really follow the pros too much. Now, don't get me wrong, Subway Sub 2, oh man, that was amazing. But I couldn't tell you who anyone else was or what their times were. Because honestly, I don't really care. The people that really inspire my running are the older runners. Do you guys follow Global Runner? If you don't, make sure you jump over to his channel. He's a guy in his early 50s chasing a sub 230. Incredible. The amount of work he puts in, staggering. Now that's the sort of stuff that inspires me. The people that have kids, the people that work full-time jobs, the people that have a life outside of running, but are still achieving such amazing times. Now, the people that, where running is their full-time job, and they're only achieving a 2:15, 2:12, whatever. Come on, guys. That's a bit of a cop-out. Running is your job, and yet you're not even really performing as though it is. Those sorts of people, I'm like, come on, do better. Now, that is just my opinion, so it's a bit of a hot take, so I'm sure it's going to rile up quite a bit of you people down in the comments below. And so I am in my half marathon arc at the moment, focusing on that distance. But actually, quite interestingly, just the other day, I checked my stride and it's updated projected race times. For the first time ever, it thinks I could do a sub 4. Now, it said 3:08 before Canberra, and I did a 4:38. So, it was off. So it's probably still off. But it's good to see that there's definitely progress. Can I follow that pace? Can I follow that projection? Yeah, not sure. This is my superpower. These long runs, these long grinds, just pushing and pushing. Now, I'm not going easy, but I'm going at the sort of intensity I need to in order to maintain. You need to put in the time and the distance in order to do well. I can't wait until I can do these easy ones like 4-minute Ks. And then if I'm doing 3 hours, you're doing 45K. That is, I can't wait. But I'll push, and I'll get there. It's a matter of when, not if. Now, in regards to that, as I said a bit earlier, I love these 2.5 hour runs. But Sydney's coming up soon. I think it's 14 or 15 weeks out now. And with Stride saying I can do a sub 4, I think I can go faster than that. But should I attempt it? Now, the answer is I'm not going. I've already cancelled my accommodation. I'm just going to let the ticket expire, go unused, go DNS. But could I do another marathon this year? Yeah. I think the issue for me and for a lot of parents is winter soccer season. So I'm the coach of my son's team, and most of the games start like 9:15, which means I've got to be there. Let's say, I got to be home by 7:45. So I've got time to get changed, shower, and get out to the field. 7:45 is when I've got to be home. So if I'm doing a 3.5 hour long run, but I got to finish at 7:45, that's 4:15 start. Yeah, nah. I mean, look, 4:15 is basically when I start, like during the week and all my treadmills. On the weekend, I just want a little bit of a sleep in. Maybe get up at 5 instead of 4. The biggest issue is daylight saving. So as I showed earlier, the sun didn't really come up until like after 6:30. So you're spending 3.5 hours out on the road, and all of it is in the dark. It's just not appealing. So maybe I'll go focus only on autumn marathons in about the March, April sort of time frame, which means Sydney's out. Like any good addict, always preparing, always thinking about that next hit. So when's my next marathon? Well, I'm thinking sometime in April. Starting to make a list. And if you guys have any recommendations, make sure you drop it down below. Interested to see what sort of options you guys have done, which ones you like, what's the best one to do. I think at the moment, I'm considering like Hobart, Ballarat, Adelaide, and there's also Newcastle, all around that sort of April time frame. Now, I have entered into London. Zero chance I'm doing that. I think there's 1.3 mil in the ballot for what, like 15,000 places? Nah. If I get in, I'd love to do it, but chances are like none. No chance I'm doing it. When it comes to fitting in my training in my day, now if you actually look at what I did this morning, I actually I left a bit late, so I ended up leaving at like 5:45. I was aiming for like 5:30, so I was about 15 minutes late. But that's fine. It's fine today because he's got a late soccer game. But if I left 15 minutes late and I'm doing 3.5 hours and he's got I got to be back at my 7:45, you're basically like, you got to cut the session and then you don't get the required sort of training in. That's what I failed at last time. I didn't get the 3.5 hour runs in. I didn't get the time on feet, the distance. And so that's what I need to do this time. I need to hit the time. I need to hit the goals. I need to do 30k plus runs. Now this one being 23k, it's not that much shorter than the longest run I did in my marathon block. It's promising. It's promising. I'm going faster. It's getting easier. And I can go, do a bit more. It's all about that time on feet. 14 hours, 15 hours of weekly training. That is my secret power. During those early morning sessions, hitting the treadmill at 4 a.m. basically every single day. Dedication, consistency, that's what it's all about. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next one.